for some reason wouldn't go. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hello. How you doing, Christopher?
I'm doing all right.
How are you
I'm doing
feeling?
more than right. I'm doing excellent.
Okay. Yeah, I saw part of your live feed on Facebook, and I was just like, wow, let me interview him and find out what exactly all that you go through. You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah.
especially for people who think that it's a game, that it's a joke out here.
Uh, And it's not. I can tell you, it is not. I was stubborn initially. Like I believe the first part of March, I got sick, and it really came to a head on March 18th, where I finally went to my PCP, primary care physician, and she diagnosed me with the flu B, influenza B, and I was taking the medication, the antibiotics, and stuff like that. My mom came over, gave me cleansers. I was taking vitamins, but the fever wouldn't break. I lost my sense of smell, taste. Um, Lord, I was in bad condition. And my wife was throughout the week asking me to go to the ER. And I was like, man, we can't afford that impact, financial impact. I don't want to go. And then finally on the 26th, she convinced me to go. So we went to Methodist Dallas, and they asked me 3 times after checking my oxygen level. They found I was at 83%, and they asked me if I want to voluntarily go under, be in a coma, while they find out what's going on with me on the 26th. And they had to ask me a couple times. Like I said, I'm stubborn.
Hmm.
They asked a couple times, 3 times. Then that fourth time, my wife pleaded with me and the doctor. And I was at peace with everything on the outside, but the inside, I was very afraid, very scared, and panicking. I was like, man, I never had a situation where I had to be put in a coma,
Right.
and so that fourth time I went ahead and agreed, and they put me in a coma. On the 26th and through the 29th, I was at Methodist Dallas, and they tried 2 drugs on me, and one of them was that hydrochloroquine that President Trump is touting as the miracle drug,
Hmm.
and that caused me to decline. Where I was really on my way out of there because I already had. Oh, mind you, the flu was actually progressed into a double pneumonia on both my lungs. So I
Wow.
had a lot of fluid on both my lungs, and they had me on life support, so I was on vents and stuff like that. And they tried the hydrochloroquine, and it really caused me to decline. And so I was care flighted because my wife is a case manager. She knows a lot of pulmonologists there in this group,
Hmm.
and they recommended to my doctor to send me over to Medical City Healthcare Plano, and because they had this thing called the ECMO treatment that no other hospital have
What is
right
that?
now. Basically, that is a machine that they hook up to you, um, and I'm still trying to learn this whole thing, but it filtered my blood of all the impurities, including carbon dioxide, oxidated the blood, and put it back into my body. Initially, they thought
What?
they were
Yeah.
yes. Initially, they thought a blood transfusion, but they decided to go ahead and do that. And so on one side of my body, um, they were doing that. I had a catheter in my neck, also my
Was this to
groin
help you to
area.
breathe?
I was on a ventilator at the same time.
Oh,
So
I see. But what's the catheter in the neck for? I guess is what I'm trying to understand.
that was the process for the blood to circulate from the machine. So I guess they were pulling blood from my groin. It goes through this machine to get oxidated and everything, get all the impurities out and the carbon dioxide, and then it goes back through a tube in my neck. So That is amazing. I really credit them. I'm thankful for both hospitals,
Right.
but Medical City, Plano, they definitely hold a special place in my heart because they were able to. That was the. Oh, I'm sorry. My wife wanted me to let you know that was the most aggressive form of life support with that ECMO treatment.
Yeah, I
So
can tell because I've never even heard of that. That's
yeah,
amazing. I mean,
it's
wow. So,
usually
hmm
it's usually for people that have they're in critical condition when it comes to heart and lungs. And so I was very critical. I was on my way out.
so that's
And
interesting that you say that because you must have had a very, very severe case of COVID-19, right? It affected you in the worst way because some people they just send home. So that just
and
it's amazing that all of that was necessary. So imagine if you just would have gone home and quarantined. You know what I mean?
yes, I definitely know what you mean. And my wife, she's sitting right here as well. But she wanted me to let you know that the ECMO treatment allows your heart and your lungs to rest as you're on a ventilator, and they're going through that whole process.
Well, shout
Um,
out to Mrs. Marshall making sure she stayed by your side each and every step of the way. Because my
you ain't lying.
goodness,
She kept
yeah.
my mama in the loop. She kept everybody in the loop from all the organizations I'm involved in, and then Facebook and stuff. Because I couldn't talk. You know, she like me. I'm very overcommitted person when I get involved, and definitely if I'm very passionate in things, I work hard, and I forget to take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't know a lot of things I was doing, and when she started posting about what happened, so many people reaching out to her to help her if she needed anything. Like not just saying, "Hey, if you need anything, let us know." It was like, "If you need anything, let us know. We serious. We gonna bring it over there. We'll deliver." Put out. I can't tell you how many people, man, from prayers or words of encouragement to helping my wife out to giving her encouragement because the first 3 days was really hard for
Mm-hmm.
my mom, and wife, and they were really there for me. Like when I was put in the negative pressure room and it was hot, and I'm a hot nature
Mm-hmm.
person. Man, they
Mm-hmm.
called 5 minutes. I didn't want them to do it, but they called within 5 minutes. They said, "Hey, this boy, he's hot natured. Y'all got him in a hot room." Next thing you know, I had a fan in my room. I
Mm-hmm.
was cool. I was able to sleep. So my wife and my mom, definitely my wife, has been holding it down. So
Yes, yes. That's amazing. That's a blessing, a true blessing. I'm telling you, this is wow. I knew you were gonna have a story for me, but geez, I can just everything that you're describing to me, I couldn't even imagine. And I just have to ask you, when did you first notice that you felt different?
I didn't. I think the 15th through the 18th. Yeah, I usually get sinus infections or allergies and stuff around that time. So I thought it was normal. And then when I went to the doctor on the 18th, they told me I had the flu. I was like, "What? I never had the
So
flu
wait,
in my
wait,
life."
wait. When you went to the doctor on the 18th, did you have a fever already? Is that what made
Yeah,
you really go?
I had a fever. Like my supervisor sent me home for
Okay.
work. Me
Mm-hmm,
home
mm-hmm,
the 17th to 18th. I was like, "Man, I'm good. I may be a little bit hot like during my lunch break and stuff, but I'm like, I'm good. I can make it through the day." Man, he sent me home, and I called my PCP, and I was like, "Can I get in to see the doctor?" And then they were able to see me, and I called my wife. She got over there, took off work, and she got over there, and man, they hit that nose twice. When I tell you, it feels like they touch your brain with those Q-tips. Both
I
and
bet.
both
Wow.
nostrils and both nostrils
Woo.
2 times. So 4 times I felt like my brain was touched, and they came back. "Oh yeah, you got influenza B." I was like, "No, I've never had the flu before." So I just thought it was normal, but I did lose my sense of smell and taste initially, and I had that fever. I was
Mhm.
like, "Man, I never had the flu before. This." I didn't know what to do, but we
Right.
got
And
Tyler.
you also didn't know what you were feeling. And so, I mean, eventually, did they eventually test you for COVID?
No, they thought it was just that. So I didn't find out that it was COVID until I woke up on March
Oh,
31st.
wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
the 26th is when I went in that coma, and I declined on the 29th. They curve flighted me over to Medical City, Plano. I woke up on on March 31st, which was my birthday, but I wasn't fully cognitive.
Wow.
Like they were asking me stuff. I was probably saying yes and no, but I didn't know remember. But the 8th is when I was fully cognitive. I knew what was going on. I knew where I was and stuff like that. And they told me that I had COVID-19, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "No, this is the
Yeah.
worst I have." Then a couple of days later, I was like, "Is it possible?" I asked the doctor, "Are y'all sure? Is it possible to have the flu?" Uh, Yes, but then I found out I had that the flu progressed to pneumonia, double pneumonia on both my lungs, and I had
Yeah.
COVID-19. So really, I
Wow.
was supposed to be here because both my lungs was out of there. All
And the
my
fact that you woke up out of the coma on your birthday, all this is a testimony. All of it.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it,
Wow.
because you know I was sad because my birthday is March 31st. My mom's birthday is April 9th, and then Easter. So I spent all those days in the hospital on bed rest, and I couldn't get out. I wasn't supposed to get out of the hospital bed. Let's just say I'm stubborn. I got out of
Hmm.
that bed 3 times because the first motivation was I want to be able to use the bathroom without somebody having, without me going on myself in that bed
Hmm.
and coming in there cleaning me up, and then giving me a bathe after that. But I wanted to go to the bathroom by myself. The second motivation was I want to go home. I want to lay in
Yeah.
my bed. I want to be independent. I want to be back with my wife and see my mama and my family and friends, because being in this whole process alone, when you first wake up, you don't know nobody, you don't know where you at. So I was I was trembling a lot, like shaking, like I was having a seizure. Uh, not
Hmm.
because not because I was cold. It's just I was fearful and I felt helpless, and I couldn't
Yeah.
couldn't grip things. I couldn't open a bottle. I couldn't drink. I couldn't feed myself. Let alone I couldn't move up and down in the bed, or you know
Now this
uh,
was fresh out of the coma, correct?
this is fresh out of the coma. So
Wow.
I couldn't do anything. I lost a lot of weight, muscle mass, during these 3 weeks. I checked my weight today. I stepped on the scale. I'm at 260.2. When I went to the hospital, I was 278. So I lost 18.
Wow.
Yep,
Yikes.
because I was on the diet. The diet that I was on was soft,
Hmm.
full, and it was diabetic. So I had no sugars, no carbs. Um, I barely had any seasoning, but I had 1/4 like meat, and I had nothing but vegetables. The first 2 days was um 24 ounces of water the whole day, and I
Wow.
try to drink maybe 2 liters, and so that was
Hmm.
not being able to have enough water. And then the first day was pudding. The first meal I had was vanilla pudding and an apple jello, and that tore me up so bad. I'm fresh off the machine now. I had
Right,
ended
right.
heartburn, and that hurt, like that was
Ooh.
bad. Then the second day, it was 24 ounces of water, and it was basically the same diet, and I had indigestion. But Lord, when I tell you that third day they let me have pancakes, eggs, and sausage. I guess they forgot I was diabetic, and yeah, I enjoyed that, and I didn't have any or anything like that. But once they
That's
found
good.
diabetic, oh yeah, they started checking my sugar regular, insulin on the regular. They was doing labs on the regular, so I felt like a pincushion. And then when I found
Mm-hmm.
fentanyl on the 8th, I told them take that out because this drug that killed Prince. And I was like, that ain't finna take.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So after I
Good.
did,
That's good that you thought about that.
yeah, once I realized I was on that fentanyl, I was like, take me off of it. But I felt everything. My hands was weak,
Yeah.
constantly getting poked, checking my blood. The IVs, they constantly had to change the IVs and stuff like that. And then every day,
I think it's important though that you pointed out that you're diabetic, and they've been saying that people with any kind of pre-existing issues, right? It hits you differently. This virus hits you completely differently. Do you
yeah,
think that's one of the reasons why they had to immediately put you into a coma to kind of gain control of the whole situation?
most definitely because I was working on my master's. I was working full time at my new job, and I wasn't taking like my diet was improving, but I wasn't taking my medicine on a regular, and my diabetes was getting out of hand already, so that weakened my immune system. And
I
so,
see.
like at work, I wash my hands like crazy. I open the doors with napkins and stuff, and I hit that hand sanitizer twice before I go back to my desk. But it's like 2,500 people in this call center. And that Friday before, uh, I decided that Friday before that week that I went to the ER, it was a lady at my job that passed out. I don't know. I wasn't there at that time, but she passed,
Hmm.
and they didn't know. Of course, you can't tell what happened as far as management stuff, but she passed
Right.
out.
Hmm.
I didn't know what it was, and I was like, I'm cleaning my hands and stuff like that. Um, I'm good there, but I'm thinking maybe it was airborne, and there's no baby too. I found out that it could be airborne, and I don't know if I got it at work or if I got it while I was on the train because I was taking the train back and forth to work.
Oh yeah.
Like, wife would drop
Hmm.
off at the train. I get on the
Were
train.
you wearing your face mask?
No, that was. I think that
Okay.
I wasn't wearing a face mask, and I wasn't wearing gloves and stuff like that. I fell into that whole theory that melanated people, and we got melanin in our skin. We've been through a lot.
I don't know who started that rumor. That is crazy.
Yeah,
Because this has nothing to do with that.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
like I'm a person that's very into my history and proud of being black, and I feel like we strong. We've been through a lot, so yeah, that did play
Hmm.
mentality and stuff like that. And I was like, man, bird flu came around, swine flu. I never got that. We survived
Hmm.
illnesses. Well, stupid me didn't have, and I hate to say that, but stupid, stubborn me didn't wear face masks, didn't wear gloves and stuff on public transportation, let alone at work. And I was like, I'm good. I can make it through this. Well, as we see, I was not good, and initially I didn't make it through it because it got worse. But yeah, it was serious. It's very serious. We definitely need to take this COVID-19 very serious because waking up those first 2 days, having that survivor's remorse, like Lord God, I see all these people. I know it's a small percentage of the population, but still, all these people of black and Hispanic minorities, period, are
Hmm.
the most and dying the most from this. And we have this mentality like we can make it through because we've been through so much pain. And
Right.
it's showing that that's not the truth because people are dying quickly, either instantaneously
Hmm.
and then or maybe it's a couple of days they try to go seek medical treatment, they get turned away. And that's what bothers me. And then the other thing that bothered me the most, uh, I'm very thankful for the ECMO treatment, but it's only one hospital that has that currently, from what I've been told, and that's Medical City.
Hmm.
And I definitely think, all hospitals should have the ECMO treatment, as well as, doing the other life support and stuff like that. Because I have a friend of mine who's in my undergrad chapter. He has COVID-19. He's at Parkland right now, and
Mm-hmm.
do uh, they're trying to test this new drug on him and stuff like that. And I'm like, they don't know if this stuff works right now. There's no antibody
Right.
there just yet. There's no vaccination. There's no cure. Um, but I I'm negative right now. But I know it's still in my body. I know it's dormant. So I know
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a good position. But I do know that at some point, if I go back out there, it could be reactivated. So I'm definitely gonna be wearing gloves and face masks. And even when I came home yesterday, I was wearing my gloves and face mask and everything. And it felt weird to be sitting around my wife. I know that she has an acute form of it, and we're waiting on her results. But it's just felt no weird. It felt weird because the person you haven't seen for 3 weeks, that been holding you down, that's been keeping everybody informed, family and friends, my mom,
Mm-hmm.
both of them working in tandem, stuff like that. You haven't been able to see them, especially my wife, in 21 days.
For almost a month.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and you like super grateful because she held down the bills. Like she held down her job working from home. She held down the bills and everything. She followed, like I'm the dude that set up the budget and everything and make sure everything's good as far as the dates and stuff like that. And I keep a spread
Mm-hmm.
passwords and stuff. And she knew how to get in my computer. She was able to pay all the bills and stuff on time. And
Yeah.
she kept
Mhm.
my job up to date. They sent flowers to the house. She kept
See, that's amazing.
yeah, kept the organizations running while still taking care of herself because she was feeling it. Her coworker was feeling it, and my mom
Mm-hmm.
heard
Mm-hmm.
my mom for the first 3 days. It was torture.
Well, I'm sure it was a nightmare for them, right?
Yeah,
And then, you didn't add in the stress of her knowing that you're battling this illness, that her husband is in a coma
not on-
for over 3 weeks.
not only that. Initially, the hospitals wasn't communicating immediately, so they lost a lot of sleep because they were waiting on the hospitals to call, and it was on the routine
Oh, wow.
for the hospital
Mhm.
certain time. Sometimes late at night, sometimes in the evening. So my wife and my mama was rock stars in my eyes.
Yeah, they are.
Cause
I definitely commend them and yourself because you're a fighter. I have a question about when you were in the coma. Do you remember anything while you were asleep?
yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Maybe we'll save that for another segment though, because I told you 20 minutes. I don't want to hold you over too long.
No, I'm.
But if you have something that's short, please share it.
Oh yeah, definitely short. So I felt like I was superhuman, like I had superpowers. I could teleport, and I could fly. And going to Philly, New York, the East Coast, basically doing radio interviews, shopping, just living my life. Like I feel like it was the future. And then on one case, I felt like it was a guy that came in the room, put shirt on me, chains on me, and tried to give me a tattoo. And I was like, get up out of like the ICU that I was in. I was like, get the hell up out of here because I don't want no tattoo. Cause my wife has been trying to give me
That's interesting.
tattoo, and it was just funny that I had that dream. But that's the
Right. It was in your subconscious. Yeah.
that was the short version of it. But just feeling superhuman. And then when I do wake up, I'm looking around the room, maybe 2 to 3 minutes. Then I fall right back to sleep. It's another episode. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's interesting, man. That's you went through a lot. I just have one more question for you before we wrap this interview up. I know you probably heard about Governor Greg Abbott. He's thinking about reopening different sectors of the state of Texas. What's your take on
Oh
this?
yeah.
Knowing that you've been through what you've been through, knowing that there's been a record of 428 deaths because of this virus and over 17,000 confirmed cases in the state of Texas
You
alone. What's your take on him
You
reopening
just
sectors of
you just
Texas?
updated me on those numbers because I didn't know the number of deaths when it came to Texas. I knew that we was at 16,000, but now that I know that we was 17,000. Um,
That's confirmed cases, 17,000, over 17,000 confirmed cases, 428 fatalities.
so my whole thought about this is these red state governors are worried about the money. They're worried about the economy, and I think it's stupid. I know that at some point we got to reopen, and I think we need to do it gradually. But I don't think they really are concerned about the people as much as they should be. I know they want their economy to be stable and strong, and I know the initial stimulus packages that went out came from the Social Security because they want to stimulate consumer spending to jumpstart the economy. But I think it's very ignorant and neglectful to put your people in danger like that as a state,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to the kids and grandparents, kids and the elderly, especially people with pre-existing conditions. They're too
Mhm.
susceptible to this disease and it's spreading rapidly. I feel like if you have it where everybody can, they feel, you give them a false sense of security that everything's okay, and you reopen this everything like we normal. There's no antibodies, there's no inoculations or vaccines, and there's no cure. You're putting your people to death. That's my God
Right.
feeling, especially when you only have one hospital that has ECMO, and then the other ones are trying to figure out what's the proper treatment. There's no, when I look at the news and I see a nurse from New York crying and like really emotional because people are coming in and they are dropping like flies. They are, and
Mm, mhm,
they don't have proper treatments to save these people's lives. Then on another story, I see the lady from JPS, and I seen another lady, and they were on ECMO, and they survived. Now, look at, they
interesting.
survived.
So everybody should look that up. ECMO, ECMO,
Yep,
right?
EC
That is interesting.
treatment. And I don't know the other stories. I have a lot more research and reading to do, but just seeing those stories on the news and going through my ordeal, mine was very critical. I don't know about the other people, but to have like my frat brothers, um, my state director, went in the ICU for 2 days, came home. Great. I had other brothers that had it, they died. They
Mm, mm, mm.
And then now I have another frat brother that's undergraduate that's at Parkland right now, and they're trying to do experimental drugs. It's serious. So Governor Greg,
Yeah, it's real out here.
I know it's
Hmm.
a red state. We're very pro business when it comes to Texas, but I think that we should really. I'm a man of faith, and when they say love thy neighbors as thyself, I don't think he will put himself in that position, especially if he was in their socioeconomic position as well. These minorities, because they'll get hit the most, and it's usually people that can't afford that type of loss. I've heard that the government is supposed to be taking care of the testing and stuff like that, but I don't think when it comes to the full medical treatment, that they're willing to
Hmm.
take care of that. Now I know the Texas Constitution says the state must have a balanced budget each year, and I know that we have an
Hmm.
enormous surplus. I'm not sure if Governor Greg Abbott is willing to use that surplus, at least a third of it, to really take care of the people of Texas. So I missed that part. Well, I missed the news altogether today. But
Oh, I have too. I've just gotten bits and pieces of
when
it.
I saw that on Facebook around 2 o'clock, and I didn't get this, they didn't show the broadcast. They just said that he was announcing it. I was like,
Hmm.
I think that's very irresponsible and ignorant at this moment because of the situation we're in. I know we're pro Trump uh, type of state, not in your urban areas, but we're pro Trump, and we feel like whatever he says goes. I think we should rethink that because he's not the smartest man in the room as he think he is, and then you have experts that's standing right by you, that's telling you, that's giving you briefings, that's giving you facts, not opinion. They give
Right.
you facts and statistics.
Exactly.
You not listen to the people, and you don't care about your people, and you speak this hateful rhetoric, like you try to make this the aka the Chinese disease and stuff like that. Yeah, we have a problem, sir. You definitely need to go. Not told Joe Biden right now. Uh, Neither of the candidates excited me as much, but I do know he's a better decision than Trump right now. We need someone
Right.
able to, even with Colonel Greg Abbott, accept their responsibility. Acknowledge when you were wrong, learn from that, and try to do a better job. Trump is never trying to do that. And so to listen to the president and try to push these red state governors to go ahead and reopen quickly, I think that's very irresponsible.
And I would have to second that. And I just want to thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time to be a part of the Sistas Talk podcast. I really enjoyed this interview because you really gave us all a more in-depth insight on what a person deals with who has actually been tested positive for this. And you had to literally go into a different transformation. You had to you had to become sedated into a coma. That's huge. That's a big deal. That's a life changing experience. Shout out to your wife, your mom, your friends, your family, everybody who have been an umbrella to you of support. And I just want to tell you to remain safe. Keep your health as number one priority because health is wealth. Your wife and family need you. And I'm very honored to have interviewed you today about this unprecedented topic. I mean, this is just something that I don't think we've seen anything like this in our lifetime.
I guess
And even in human history. I mean, this is
most
crazy.
definitely, I've never lived through a pandemic. I tell you that. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to speak on your show and for you to reach out to me, uh, because I think it's every media outlet, no matter um, if you're doing podcasts or you're doing streaming radio, major networks, whatever, we need to get this message out to people to let them know, hey, uh, one, this is serious. Take it seriously, because it's no joke. Definitely coming from the critical side of things, from death's door to living. This is definitely strengthened my faith, because this is definitely proved to me that God is bigger than death.
Oh
Jesus is
yes,
definitely
absolutely.
bigger than death. And then two, it makes me look at the leadership of our country. Like I was already looking at it. I'm very political, very into politics, and looking at run for office. Um, and so this whole situation, when it comes to the pandemic, knowing that they got the information in October and they didn't make it very political and they thought it was just, and when I say they, of course, Trump administration, they thought it was a
Of course,
way
yeah.
for Democrats to try to remove them. No, when it hits your country, and it takes out your people, your constituents, no matter if they agree with you or not, you take care of your people. I'm definitely one of,
Absolutely.
like I said earlier, love thy neighbor as thyself and do whatever you can. And our leaders in that position, like I said, we need new leaders. So yeah, give me the
And I'll say leaders of compassion,
yeah,
and with the people's best interests at heart. We have to be realistic about this, guys. I mean, everybody's gonna take their side, and that's fine. But I think the best way to move forward is a country that's unified, not
yes,
divided.
most
And we're talking about not divided based on religion, race,
all
anything, sexual orientation, political views. All of these things are these are objectives to
COVID
divide. right?
This
Dividing.
disease doesn't care if you black or white, you Republican, rich or poor, anything like that. Everybody can.
Exactly.
Everybody.
Hmm.
And I think it's just that divide in our country that really is putting us at risk. And then the president um, stopping the was it 569 million to the World Health Organization. That's really going to put us at risk, especially
Hmm.
other countries, because they depend on that organization to provide vaccinations and things like that. They're not able to go to see the doctor like us on the regular or even
Exactly.
at a check. When they get
Hmm.
sick, it started to spread everywhere, and it's gonna put us in a bad position over here because you'll have a second stage. We already know in the fall we're gonna have the flu season. We already gonna have that, but it'll be a resurgence of COVID-19, and that's
Oh
my
yeah.
fear.
Mhm. I was actually just reading about that. Dr. Fauci said there will definitely be another outbreak in the fall, but at least this time around they will have the test ready. You understand? So because we've already had a mock test in a way
Well,
right now,
I
so
tell you, these
we'll see.
Q-tips that touch your brain, that is
No joke,
no
huh?
joke. Like I do it.
Woo!
Let's see, one, two, three, 4 times. One
Oh
one
my
time for the flu,
goodness.
one time for strep, one time probably while I was knocked out. That's how they find out COVID. But and then 2 times at Medical City, and they hit both nostrils each time, and they're up there each nostril for 10 seconds, and it feel like they touching your brain, like seriously. So
Ooh, that's all right. Don't give me no more visuals.
I'm just
Ooh,
I
I'm good
can't
on
wait for
that.
them to come out with a new test. But yeah, it's my wife said they like the saliva. I think is coming out, but it's serious. It's real serious. If you don't want to go through that, take tell me you really don't want to go through that because it. Oh Lord. But yeah,
Face mask and gloves for me every day,
there we
all
go.
day.
Hand
Yeah.
sanitizer, soap,
And social
and social.
distancing.
If you ain't
Yes.
got to go nowhere, don't go nowhere. If you got to go somewhere to the grocery store, to the pharmacist, to the doctor, I understand that. But the party, to drink it, all that other stuff, cut that out. Uh, you can do that at home. Have your own little party at home and stuff like that. But yeah, it's serious. It's real. It's real in the field right now. It is real. In the field.
Yep, yep. And when we start opening things back up, we got to do it slowly. And I do believe that these businesses should implement these safety precautions, like have a pack of gloves out there, for your customers and for your workers. Make sure everybody's still practicing safe, distancing and making sure that we're not touching unnecessary, things like the doorknobs. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Things like that. We just really truly have to keep that in mind throughout the entire year. That would be my recommendation because we just don't know,
Yeah,
right? Until we can get this under control, we have
my
no
wife
idea.
went had to fill up
So,
the car yesterday, right before we came home. I grabbed some gloves out of my hospital room, a set of those. I gave that to her, and of course, the nurse gave her a face mask. But when we went to the gas station, I was like, "Baby, here's these gloves." She was already cautious of using gloves and stuff. She just forgot it at home. But she went when
hmm,
she went to go touch that pump and everything like that. She had her face mask on, she had her gloves on, and it's serious. And when she got back in the car, she wiped everything. She threw away the gloves. She wiped everything down with Clorox and hand sanitizer, and we was on our way home. So yeah,
yeah, yeah, you
and
have
I
to. We have to, man. We have to practice this. I don't care who you are or who you think you are. Practice these safety precautionary steps so that you don't end up going through everything that we just talked about right now on this
yeah, because
podcast.
it's scary. I don't
So,
want family and friends or strangers. I don't wish none of this on nobody.
right. That's what I've been hearing. I interviewed somebody yesterday or day before that also is a survivor of COVID-19. So again, God bless you guys because you guys are real fighters. And again, I want to thank you again for coming on to the show. And I definitely look forward to talking to you sometime in the near future, just to do a follow up to see how you and your family are
Well,
doing. And please tell the missus we
oh, she
said
hear you.
hello. And you
Matter of fact,
guys, oh, okay, great. Yeah.
let's say hello.
Hey,
Hi, Mrs. Marshall. Thank you, Miss Ryder Die. You held it down. You did a
nothing
great
but
job.
God. It truly was God.
That's it.
And when he transferred to Medical City of Plano, I felt in my spirit that he was going to get a breakthrough despite the way it looked. I was like, okay, this is his breakthrough because after ECMO, there is no more treatment plans. I said, this is it. So he's about to get, and
Hmm.
that's is what happened. So I'm so happy. And we're just going to focus on keeping each other healthy and spreading the information and just helping anybody who needs help because it's all about pouring into people and providing them with knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Applied knowledge, definitely power.
Definitely. Yes. Apply. There you go. Applied knowledge. Very true. And your health is your wealth. So we want to thank you both for being a part of this segment today. And I know you guys are going to inspire and even save lives with this information that you've given today. So again, we want to thank you for tuning into the Sistas Talk podcast. And you guys have a
You
You
blessed
too.
too.
evening.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you. Bye.